Hi, welcome back to Fluttercon EU 25. I'm here with Anna.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna, Dart and Flutter GDE. I'm with Flutter with over 6 years now, I guess, and currently I work in a company which uses Flutter to develop their huge fintech product. And this produces a lot of challenges, which I'm grateful for because I have such a wonderful source of topics for conferences like FlutterCon.
Yeah, it's those kinds of experiences that definitely give you lots of things to talk about and to
Yeah,
think about.
exactly, exactly.
So one of those talks that you are giving is all about automation for enterprise class Flutter projects.
Yes.
What's the main challenge, do you think, when it comes to building an enterprise project in Flutter?
Great question. Um, so we have quite a big project and quite a big team. So at a certain point, you cannot exclusively rely on manual checks when, for example, a developer opens EPR. We would look through it, figure out some errors or potential problems. And at certain level, this stops working because there are so many PRs daily that you cannot just be looking through it. At one point, I caught myself like looking through all the open PRs, and until I'm done reviewing it, I can look through them again because now people have reacted to my comments,
Yeah.
updated the PRs, and so on. So here, automation is really this like key guard that helps still keep the quality high, keep following the architectural principles. And also, there is this human factor of maybe sometimes it is a bit uncomfortable to go to developers say, hey, this is here violated, please update. And you now saying that they may have hard feelings towards you, versus in automation world, you cannot be angry at a computer.
Well, you can, but it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening quite a lot. Certainly, I've known junior developers who are doing a PR review and they feel like they can't go to the senior developer
Yeah.
and say, "Oh no, you've done it wrong," but they have to. Yeah. So, if a team was just starting out with automation, maybe they've started to grow and they've realised it's needed, what would be the first thing you would recommend they do in terms of automation?
Like even before they start growing, I think it is valuable to apply the automation principles which I talked about in local development, like using code generation, using custom scripts that automate the things that you do daily. It will have a huge impact on the productivity of the team. And now that it grows, more and more checks have to be performed on CI to ensure that code quality is there. And in my talks, I share a variety of techniques, starting from very obvious like formatting or analyzing and make sure the project is clean and so on, up to the custom checks specific to your team needs, like checking for the license, checking if the pub spec is correctly configured if you're using the workspace. So really sit down and think about issues that are most often called out in the PR and make it an automation so that there will be no need to call it out. It will check it, all the code even before the human needs to read it and already eliminate all of those.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant suggestion, looking at the issues that you already face and trying to reduce those. And I will also say that Anna's talks will be linked down below, so do make sure to go check those out as well. Excellent. So perhaps people are thinking, oh, I don't know if automation is really something that's worth putting the time and effort into. But do you have any examples where it's kind of really saved time and shown its worth in your teams?
Of course, I mean, even if you're a single developer, not a team, even if it is your pet project, which you work on once in every 3 months, so you have made a contribution, increment, feature increment in that project, and now you have to remember how to build and publish it. I mean, it's a struggle for myself, really. So having an automation there where I can just press a button and wait it to do the job is already a saver. And for bigger teams, enterprise teams, uh, the most critical thing I would say is automating creating the production builds on CI, because it is for security. You have to apply all the security practices and not forget, not misconfigure those. You have to apply production configuration. Maybe some access to those keys should not also be given to all the developers, but only stored securely on CI. And not forget to sign and do all the processing for the build before it gets uploaded. So once again, like production builds is the user-facing stuff,
Yeah.
right? And we have to put the most attention to it.
You briefly mentioned custom checks and those sorts of additional steps. Are there any kind of interesting custom checks that you've ended up implementing that maybe you didn't think of would be needed, or?
Well, definitely checking for the licenses is somewhat new to me. Previously, I would work in startups using only open source products, which are typically under open licenses. But here, we really have to pay attention to this stuff, and we have a list of licenses agreed upon with legal team, and now we have to compare all our dependencies against those.
I see.
It
Yeah.
is quite interesting.
That's definitely not something I've had to deal with.
Exactly.
So one thing that you mentioned, you're an engineering lead and you're also a GDE. How do you think those two roles influence each other in your professional development?
I think in the GDE community, we broadly follow these principles of being an exemplar, right? Exposing the behaviors that we want more people in the community to follow, and this very much aligns with what an engineering manager, engineering leader has to expose in the company.
Sure.
Same attitude, same ways that you want and other developers to follow.
I'm sure some people that are watching this probably aspire to be in a similar position that you are in, whether that is as an engineering lead or as a GDE. Is there any advice that you can give them to kind of pursue that goal?
It is always hard to generalize my experience because
course.
it's a unique combination
Of
of
course.
factors. My way to where I am now was through following my passion for digging deep into the technical details of any issue I find, and figuring out all the details around it. And then, wow, it is a valuable experience I can share with everyone so they can also follow and improve their development experience. I like to focus on development productivity and efficiency, how to achieve the same result with less effort. So yeah, this is one of the ways to grow as a professional and eventually become a GDE or in the higher leader position. Yeah, it is not only digging into to the bottom of the problem, but also then sharing the knowledge and promoting the same techniques to a wider community.
One thing that's, I think, very apparent is that you're very active in the community. You give lots of talks. You're a GDE. You obviously have a strong connection to the Flutter community. What drew you to that community?
On this path, I want to mention one special, smaller community, which is Flutteristas.
Yeah.
It's a community for women and non-binary folks interested in Flutter. And I first was introduced to this community in probably 2020. I was still in my early days of using Flutter. And I am 100% confident that none of this would happen if I didn't meet my role models in this community.
Yeah.
They know who they are. I already told them thank you so many times. But by seeing already GDEs and established Flutter developers there, I kind of felt more confident in pursuing the same. And now, yeah, I try to give it back to take care of other aspiring members of our community and bring them forward.
We've interviewed a few of the Flutteristas, both here and also in New York, and I think it's a really great community of people coming together and sharing experiences. And of course, if that's something that resonates with you and you'd like to learn more, we'll include some links down below as well. So one final question. I want to kind of get the crystal ball out a little bit and try and look towards the future. The ultimate, obviously predicting the future is very, very hard, but is there anything that you're seeing that you're kind of excited for the future of Flutter?
Definitely, I see more and more companies, like enterprise companies, using Flutter because, of course, when the first technology showed up, it drew attention of a lot of startups. You develop once, deploy everywhere, and now I see more and more enterprise scale, big products also putting their face in Flutter, which means it is being perceived as a more stable, mature,
Yep.
and appropriate solution, even in domains where it is critically important to have this kind of stability and support.
There's been lots of attempts of cross-platform. I know personally I worked on Cordova and PhoneGap many years ago, but
Xamarin for me.
yeah, there you go. And I think those always struggle to break out of that kind of startup bubble and get into the enterprise space.
Perhaps.
And I think maybe Flutter is maturing to that point, which is really good to see.
Also, I think the mentality overall is maturing as well, because we are now moving from thinking that native is the only solution to the
Yep.
quality product towards that, cross-platform can also deliver great results.
Yeah, agreed. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Anna. It's
Thank you.
been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.